Mightyreacts, back with the reacts. On today's video, we are reacting to this funeral home director lost 190 bodies, bro. This title is crazy. How the fuck? First of all, losing one body is fucking crazy, bro. How the fuck you gonna lose a body, bro? When a person die, the body you need to just put in a freezer. When it's the time to bury the person, they're gonna put the clothes, do the makeup, and bury the person. So how the fuck you lost 190's body, bro? What the fuck you gonna tell the families, all those person's family, bro? This is crazy. But hey, enough of the talking. Let's react.
This is probably the weirdest crime I've ever heard of. And it all starts with this
Bro,
guy,
definitely.
John. And John is around 40 years old during this time, living in Colorado. And John, he works with a lot of dead bodies. He's in the funeral business. And John, like a lot of people, he really wants to make money any way he can. And so one day in 2019, he
Bro, I already know where is this going, bro. That's sad, bro. That's fucking sad, bro.
finally gets that opportunity. Because at the funeral home, some of the makeshift refrigeration units they use for storing the bodies, they stop working properly. And so the bodies, they're not being refrigerated like they're supposed to. And I guess John, he doesn't want to spend the money to fix all of this, because instead of making the repairs like a normal human being would, he just continues to store the bodies in this facility anyway. And so these bodies, which are not being properly refrigerated, they just start decomposing. And no one realizes this is what's going on because I think it's just him and his wife working there. And this is great for John because now he's making extra profit because he still charges clients the same amount he did before, but now he doesn't have to pay for the cost of refrigeration. And he must be saving a ton of money doing this because once he starts doing it and he sees how easy it is to cut corners, he decides, this is great. I think I'll cut even more corners. So he does a complete overhaul and he starts running the whole funeral home differently. Like customers will pay him to cremate or bury their loved ones, and John will just straight up not do it. Because cremation and burial costs him money. So instead, he'll just take the body and store it in the funeral home warehouse to decompose with the others. But he'll tell the family.
Bro, ain't that a fucking psychopath or whatever, bro? How the fuck you gonna take somebody's family, the person that died, the body, just put it in the storage, and while the family is paying you to bury them or crements, you know what I mean? And you just straight up put the bodies in the fucking storage. Bro, that's fucking sad, bro. All for money, bro.
Of the deceased that he did properly dispose of the body. So basically, he doesn't dispose of the corpses, he lets them pile up in various states of decay while he...
But bro, how are you gonna tell the family with a straight face, like when they ask you where's the body or something? What this guy? What are you gonna tell them, bro? Hey, this man
pockets the service charges, which is just vile. Sometimes he'll go as far as to give the grieving family members an urn that's supposed to be filled with loved ones' ashes, but instead John will fill it with dry concrete mix.
Nah,
so these poor people think that they've got their
bro.
grandma in an urn and it's basically just sand and gravel. And at least two different times, he delivers the wrong body for burial. And he'll hide the mistake from the family because the caskets are closed, so they'll never know. So he's just like, here's your loved one's body, and it's another random person's body instead. So imagine that you buried your relative, and you later find out that you didn't really bury them, that there's actually a completely different person in that grave that you've been visiting.
Bro, that's something to fucking flip about, bro. Bro, you think you're gonna be burying your loved ones, and bro, you're burying a whole other person that you didn't even know, bro, and everybody's there heartbroken, sad, and now you have to go to this extra step because this man is fucking giving you different body of different person. Fuck this man, bro.
Is all kinds of messed up. But I guess it must be profitable because bro keeps doing it. And he knows what he's doing is bad because he does whatever he can to hide it. Like, he blocks out windows and doors to the place so that people can't see in. He restricts access to certain parts of the building. He's always making up bullshit excuses as to why people shouldn't go in. And over time, the funeral home starts to smell. Because of course it does. There are bodies constantly piling up and decomposing in there. And so he has to make up excuses as to where the smell is coming from. And he's like, I've been studying taxidermy. That's why the place stinks all the time. And I guess people believe him. And if you think all that is bad, if you think that this guy can't sink any lower, it gets much worse. Because one day in 2020, kaboom, the COVID-19 pandemic hits. And everyone is scrambling and people...
Hey, bro, don't tell me this man keep collecting more bodies, bro.
People are out of work, and a lot of businesses are suddenly closing down. And in order to prevent a lot of these businesses from closing shop for good and crashing our economy, the US government starts providing emergency financial aid to a lot of these places, aka PPP loans, which were called loans but aren't really meant to be paid back. So if you qualify for the loan, it's kind of like free money. And so John decides to take advantage of this, and he starts ripping off the US government. And so John, along with his wife, this woman, Carrie, John and Carrie run the funeral home together. So she's involved in all this too, allegedly. And so John and Carrie, they start submitting PPP loan applications like using false information. But boom, it works. Suddenly they got free COVID-19 relief money in their pockets. And then in 2021, I guess they start to run out of room from all the bodies piling up. And so they go and they buy a second funeral home location. I assume with some of that PPP money, which, speaking of PPP, they also get another big payment of COVID relief money that same year. Then the next year, in 2022, they get a third payment from the PPP loan program, giving them a grand total of $882,000 in government relief funds alone over the past 3 years. So now, of course, John and Carrie have a lot of money. Money that they scammed from the government, money that they saved from not properly storing the bodies they're supposed to store. And you know they're not going to spend this money on repairing the refrigeration equipment or whatever. No. They're...
Bro, not even that, bro. You just gotta repair your fucking refrigerator and do the business the right way. And you instead collect the money, get the money, and spend it on bullshit, bro.
They're spending it on some bullshit for themselves. Like, bro, they got a new GMC Yukon and a new Infiniti. They buy themselves stuff from Gucci and from Tiffany's. They buy $31,000 in crypto. They take trips to Las Vegas and trips to Florida. They even blow some of that money on ladies.
While all this body keep getting old in the storage, and then when the family get the loved one's body, bro, the body is completely, you already know, like, what do you call that, like, gone. Like, bro, what the fuck, man?
These are body sculpting, which I don't even know what the hell that is. All the while their customers' loved one's body,
yeah, I mean, the bodies keep rotting, bro.
These rot in their unrefrigerated buildings. And so, like, John and Carrie are so shameless that they're buying luxury things for themselves, and no one appears to notice. So it seems like these two are just never gonna get caught. Until 2023, when it all starts to fall apart. Because John and Carrie apparently run a green funeral home, which is supposed to be environmentally friendly, which means they don't use regular embalming fluids. So, like, these bodies stink. Like, really bad. Like, they apparently stink way more.
Bro, only one body will stink up the whole place. And now, bro, you have tens, I don't know how many bodies, bro, in one place, bro. Bro, I don't even...
normal bodies.
Bro, I don't even understand how they can keep doing this without caring for other people's family or the person has that. Bro, you need to treat the bodies with respect, bro. It's other people's family. Hey, bro, this guy.
And one day, the sheriff's office in the county where John and Carrie's second funeral home is located, they get a call from someone reporting about a horrific odor. An odor coming from the funeral home. The next day, the Colorado state government hits John up, and they want to check out John's funeral home. because there had been a report that it stinks. And John, he tries to bullshit them like, oh no, I was learning taxidermy there. But whatever, eventually they get a warrant to search the place, and the FBI from Denver shows up one day, and they finally get inside, and they find 190 bodies. 190 bodies all stacked up on top of each other in this small bug-infested building. Some of them had been dead for years. Some of them had been sitting there since 2019, which means that they had been sitting there for over 4 years.
Bro, the bodies
and now
all
allegedly,
gone.
John and Carrie are like, oh shit, they're onto us. And they flee from Colorado.
Bro, but how the family didn't cut on? Like, bro, you're supposed to bury your loved ones. If somebody die, I think in a couple of weeks, in 1 week, 2 weeks, you're supposed to bury them. Bro, I don't know what this guy has lied to them that they waited for the body like 4 years, or bro, that's crazy, bro. That's even sad for the families, because now all of them gonna they there you go. Let's react.
All the way down to Oklahoma. However, it is no use. They can't run. The FBI tracks them there, and so, bam, they get arrested.
Yes.
Here's John's mugshot. And also, here's Carrie's mugshot. And like, it's wild, because if you go to their Instagram account, by the way, because the funeral home, I guess, has an Instagram account for some reason, you can see angry customers leaving comments like, what did you do with my mother's body? And
No.
bastard, those poor families are having to suffer not knowing where their family members' remains are. That's
Holy
crazy.
shit, bro.
But anyway, in 2024,
bro,
they get sued.
But bro, the family had to been reported that, or been do something, bro. Because they took like years keep doing those shady good.
In a class action lawsuit, and they lose, and they're ordered to pay $950 million to the families that they've wronged. $950 million. They're never going to be able to pay that. While in their criminal trial, which is a separate trial, John gets sentenced to 20 years in prison. And as of right now, Carrie has not been sentenced yet.
Bro, this was a crazy video story that I saw, or bro, I don't even know what to say, bro, because that is crazy, bro. Bro, what would y'all done in this situation, bro? Because, bro, I think, yeah, I don't know, bro. Bro, this is crazy, bro. I don't even know what to say. Bro, what would y'all done in this fucking situation, bro? Bro, that's sad, bro. That's sad for all those families that lost their loved ones and wanted to bury them or cremate them and didn't get the chance to do it, and the ones that get the chance to bury the loved ones but was a other body or other person. Bro, it's crazy, bro. Crazy. Bro, we reached the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and see you guys on the next reaction. Peace.